Are you looking for an affordable way to track all of your social media on a physical device, even when you're not online? Something like this? Well, you're in the right place. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm Constantinos, and this is Lovely Sim Racing. I wanted to have a physical device to represent the digital evolution of my work. And that's why I've been looking for a pixel clock to display the data of my social media and even more. And that is how I found the Ulanzi Pixel Clock. Now, the Ulanzi Pixel Clock comes out of the box with support for some social media services like YouTube and Weibo and Bilibili. Don't know what that is, but it does not support the ones that I wanted. Thanks to the effort of others, I now know how to set it up with things like my YouTube subscribers, Discord members, Instagram followers, and even my low fuel motorsport statistics. But there are some requirements, so let's get on with this video. Before you begin doing anything, please watch the entire video, and then you can revisit the steps, as you should have a clear understanding of what is happening. Also, required word of caution: I will not be held accountable for any problems you may have with your own pixel clock. This all worked absolutely seamlessly for myself. Proceed at your own risk. Now, first off, to get the most out of the Ulanzi clock, you will need to have a server running. I have an old Mac that I use as a server, or just have your computer with that running in the background. The second limitation is that you need to have access to the data you want to show via some kind of API. Don't worry if these terms seem alien right now, we'll simplify it all. I will show you how to set the ones that I have, but then you can go wild with anything else that you may need. These are the steps that I will walk you through. Number 1, we'll update the firmware for your Ulanzi clock. Number 2, we will connect it to the Wi-Fi. Number 3, we will install the server. Once we have the server up and running, I will show you how to add the workflows that I already have. And then I will show you in the last step how to update and send those workflows to the Ulanzi clock. So for the firmware update, connect your device to your PC or Mac using the supplied USB cable or any other cable you may have. Use Chrome as your browser, as this will work best. Visit the URL that is in the description and you can see on your screen right now. Once you're there, hit connect and select the Ulanzi from the USB devices. If you don't know which one it is, just unplug it and replug it and it will pop up. So once you select it, hit install Awtrix Light. Follow the steps, hit next, hit install, and it should start installing the firmware on your Awtrix Light. If it doesn't work with the first time, do it again. I sometimes needed to do it twice or 3 times, but eventually it will go through. The procedure for updating the firmware can take up to 2 minutes. Usually it's a lot less. The Ulanzi Pixel Clock is now in access point mode, or AP mode as it states on the screen, which means you need to save your Wi-Fi credentials so it can connect to your Wi-Fi on its own. On any of your devices, look for a Wi-Fi network named Awtrix _ and a number, and connect to that Wi-Fi. A browser window should open up automatically, and all you need to do is select your Wi-Fi network, type in the appropriate password, and hit save. Your clock will restart, and it's all set. Once complete, your device will restart and you will see the Awtrix splash screen. Please write down the IP address, which will scroll past on the screen of your Pixel clock. You will need it for later. Step 3 is installing the server. To begin, you will need to install Node.js on your computer. Visit the website in the description and on the screen right now and download the latest LTS version. Once downloaded, double-click and install Node.js on your computer. This shouldn't take too long. Once you're done installing Node, you can now launch your Windows terminal. And when it's open, just type in npx space n8n. When running this for the first time, it will perform an installation of the n8n server. Once you see the line saying press O to open a browser, the server is ready. Keep in mind that you will need to keep this terminal window open at all times to run in the background, so you can minimize it and just forget it. Hit O on your keyboard and it will open up a browser with the UI interface for n8n server. Number 4, we'll add the workflows to our server. Workflows are essentially instructions. You tell n8n what to do step by step. But let's create one workflow as an example, and let's take Instagram. Download the Instagram workflow to your computer. In n8n, click Add Workflow, and in the top right corner, select Import from File. You will now be presented with the Instagram workflow. As you can see, there are 3 steps. The first step determines how often this runs. I have it set to every 1 hour. Be very careful not to run the script too often, as there are rate limits by Instagram and every API. The second step is where you will need to enter your Instagram handle. Double-click on the second step, edit the line URL and replace the X's with your Instagram handle as you see it on Instagram. Mine is one word, Lovely Sim Racing. Before we proceed to the final step, you will need to upload the icon for Instagram to your Ulanzi Pixel Clock. Navigate your browser to the IP address you saw when you first installed the firmware. Click on the Icons tab, where you will need to specify which icon to upload. In this case, I'm using the number shown on the screen. Type that number into the field and hit Upload. What we're doing here is we're specifying an ID for an icon that lives on the Lemetric website. If you want to choose a different icon, just visit the URL on screen and choose another icon, use that ID, and upload it to your Pixel Clock. Once the icon is uploaded to the Pixel Clock, proceed to the final step. In the final step, we're going to send these instructions to the Ulanzi Pixel Clock. In the URL field, you will need to edit the IP address to the one we saw when you did the firmware update. Usually, it is 192.168.1.128, but if it is different, please update it. When you're done, on the workflow screen, hit Execute Workflow, and it should run successfully, and you now should see it on your Ulanzi Pixel Clock. And that's pretty much it. You can now have a Pixel Clock that shows you in real time the data that you want it to. You can repeat these steps for all of the workflows I have shared in the description of this video. Each workflow has the necessary steps you will need to change in order to get it working, plus the icon. Should you find this video helpful and informative, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Although this is a sim racing oriented channel, I do like to tinker with many things. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around. Number 3, we will install the server. Once complete, you can repeat these steps